Hey you guys, this is Heather Petherick, the Career Freedom Coach for Women. I am doing my scope number 5 this week. I've done one every day this week, and I am so lit up about Periscope. This is the first week I've ever used this technology. Hey, thanks guys for the hearts right off the bat. This is new technology to me, and I can't tell you how lit up I am about it. What I love is the fact that I get to interact with you guys that are watching right now. I get to see who's joining us. Thanks, you guys. And you get to double or you get to tap your screen if what I'm saying, if you like it, and you can post your comments and questions below. So let's keep it going. So a little bit of an introduction. If this is the first scope of mine that you've watched, my name's Heather. I'm the leading career freedom coach for women. And I stand for all women. Hey, Belinda, you're back. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I stand for all women to have a career that they love and the life that they absolutely deserve. And as a career freedom coach, I get to work with some pretty amazing women to transform their lives, to have more time, money, and meaning freedom in their career so that they are lit up about their contribution to the world. Hi, Nafissa. It's great to see you on here too. So if you are new to Periscope like I have been this week, a couple of tips for you. If you're here on the replay or on live, you can tap your screen at any time and you'll see that's how you give me great vibes and hearts so that I know that you're there and that you're interacting and liking what I'm saying. So please do that. My goal this week was to get 2,000 hearts and you guys have blown my mind. We actually passed the 2,000 mark yesterday. So let's light it up and see just how far we can take this today. Yeah, there's those hearts. Thank you guys. That's fantastic. I love Periscope. So yeah, tap your screen if you want to give me hearts. That is fantastic. I really love it. Yeah, 10K. Nafissa, that's raising the bar. Yeah, we could do it. I think we can. We'll keep it going. So lots of hearts. If you want to share what I'm saying with anybody in your network, you can do that very easily on the live broadcast. You can just swipe right on your screen and you'll reveal some options to share this with your Twitter peeps, or you can even copy the link and send it to Facebook or email or wherever you want. So please share, share, share. I want to be of service to as many women as possible and inspire really great careers. Okay, next, I want you to know that the replay on Periscope is only here for 24 hours. You can still give hearts on the Periscope replay, but if you want to go back and watch this again after that period, you can go to my website, and it's heatherpetherick.com, and on there, all of these scopes, all 5 of them from this week are on my blog, and you can go and watch them forevermore, and always comment or post on that venue after they're taken down from Periscope. Sound good? Okay, so that was your Periscope 101. Last thing I want to say before I get into content today is that at the end of the broadcast, I'm going to be asking, hi Kathleen, I'm going to be asking for your suggestions on what I want to talk about in upcoming Periscope broadcasts. So post your comments or questions at any point during this broadcast, or you can go to the replay or go to my blog and send me comments or questions that you would like me to address about your career questions, your career frustrations for future broadcasts. Okay? Fantastic. I love this technology and I'm going to keep using it because I love being able to relate with you guys. Hey, Lynn, thank you so much for joining us. Fantastic. Okay. So a little bit of a recap of what I've talked about this week in terms of career freedom. First off, I defined what career freedom is, and that it's not just about time to work when and how you want, but it's also about the money, getting paid to have the lifestyle that you want, and also to do work that is meaningful to you. So it's time, it's money, and it's meaning. And everybody has their own sort of unique combination of those 3 things and wants different degrees. So you need to figure out what that is for you uniquely. I also shared in this week's series of Periscope broadcasts the 3 critical things that I had to master before I could start to enjoy the level and degree of career freedom that lights me up. The first thing I had to master was awareness, simply awareness of who I was and how I most naturally are. Specifically, what I mean by that is an awareness over my personality, how I most naturally like and need to interact with the world. You gotta know that. The second piece is your talents. You have to know what your God-given natural strengths are in order to know where to leverage those, where to contribute those in the world. And the third piece is you have to know what's meaningful to you. And that can sometimes be a little bit hard to pin down. Aloha from Hawaii. Fantastic. Do you know what? I was just in Hawaii earlier this summer. Love it, love it. Mahalo. So that's the awareness piece that you need to have. The second thing I had to master was attitude. I had to sharpen up my attitude, because so often when our career results aren't what we thought they would be, and we're disappointed, looking forward to career freedom, awesome, get on board. Attitude. You've got to have a positive attitude. And too often, our brains, sometimes they're lazy pieces of meat, and they focus on just the negative. And guess what? If all you focus on is what's wrong in your career, what's not going right, and complain about it, guess who you're going to get more of? Exactly that. You get what you focus on. So one of the biggest shifts, thanks for the hearts, one of the biggest shifts you have to make towards career freedom is to really get clear on what it is you do want. Even if you don't know how to get there at this point, forget about the how right now and think about what sort of career reality do you really want, okay? Focus on the positive. No more beating yourself up. No more comparing yourself and torturing yourself and coming up short all the time. That's the attitude piece you've got to master. So for today, the third piece that I want to talk about is ownership. That is the final third critical piece to achieving more career freedom, is actually, honest to God, putting on your big girl panties and taking ownership over your friggin' career and figuring it out. So what does that mean? Let's talk about that. Ownership. You know, when things aren't going well in your career, there's a real temptation to believe that you are the problem, right? Everybody else seems to be happy. It must be you with the problem. And, you know, in a way it's true, but in a way it's also not true. And I'm going to explain what that means. When things aren't going well in your career, you're frustrated, you're burnt out, it's not happening like you thought it would. You think that you're not cut out for this. Maybe you've gotten into a line of work that maybe you're not smart enough for, you're not experienced enough for, whatever. There's lots of excuses of why it might not be working. You reason that obviously you don't know what you're doing, and so you must logically think that someone else has the answer, right? I don't know how I got into this mess. Let's find someone who can write me a prescription and make things work. Well, that's part of the problem. When you assume that you don't know the answers and you go outside of yourself, right? You go read books at Chapters. You go online and look for the latest guru. You consult well-meaning family and friends on what you should do with your career. When you go outside of yourself looking for those answers, what you essentially do is you give up your power. You give it up. And naturally then you become this victim that doesn't have the answers, that doesn't have the power to change. And that is the problem. Not that maybe you've made some wrong decisions or you don't know enough about yourself to make better career decisions. That's valid. We can all make mistakes, and we do. The problem is giving up your power to actually improve the situation. That is where we go wrong. And I touched on this yesterday, actually, that when you do that, even those people that you consult for advice, and they may, to their credit, they may be the biggest supporters, your biggest cheerleaders. They could be the most well-meaning parents and friends ever. They could be the most successful mentor. That's great. But at the end of the day, no matter how smart or supportive they are for you, they are not living your life. They don't know what it's like to wake up every day and live your life. They do not know how you are experiencing work, the frustrations, the disappointments, and the successes. They don't experience that. And so you can take their advice or take their guidance under advisement, but don't use it to the exclusion of your own inner knowing, your own wisdom, and trusting that you do have some of the answers. The truth is that you do have the answers. And if you should have the courage to claim it, you have the power to totally transform your life. Yeah, thumbs up, Nafisa. Sometimes we look for that easy fix, right? We're feeling depleted, we're feeling discouraged, we're feeling levels of career shame, and we think, okay, I just want a quick fix. Let's go find a guru that can write me a prescription, tell me what to do, and life will be gravy. But it doesn't really work that way. It comes from in here. You can't look out there. You got to look in here for the real answers. And they've always been there. Yeah, thank you for those hearts. You feel it too, right? Yeah, you have got the answers. A client that I was working with, I'm going to share a quote with you from a client that sums this up so well. This was years ago, but I wrote it down because it was one of those things that a client says where you they get it. Like they get it in here and they get it in here and they're lit up. And this is what my client said. We were working together in my 4-month VIP career makeover program. And she said, you know what, Heather? The questions you are asking me in this program, they aren't rocket science, but they are precisely the questions that I have been avoiding my entire life. And I now see if I have the courage to answer them, I regain the power to transform my career and transform my life. How does that get you? I still get goosebumps when I say that because that is the honest to goodness truth. It's not rocket science. All the answers have always been inside of you of who you are, how you are, what you need to do. You just need the courage to answer those questions. And then you get your power back. Then real career freedom, whether it's time, money, or meeting, all of it becomes available to you when you take ownership and take back the power to affect change in your career. And that's when life gets really amazing, really fast. Now, part of this is trust. When you're in a career situation that isn't going well, you don't like your work, you feel like you're inadequate, your career results aren't where you want them to be, sometimes that process can really erode your self-confidence. And with that, the trust you have in knowing what to do, that's a natural thing. And I find that clients almost have to get to a point of where they get pissed off, where they are tired with complaining and bemoaning their situation and feeling like they're a victim and feeling like, is this as good as it gets? That you have to get to the point where you're pissed off, that you are ready to make that commitment to yourself that no matter what, you are going to figure it out and make it turn around. And that is where everything starts to change. You take that power back. Does anybody relate to that? Have you been in that situation where you're tired of complaining? You're tired of the Sunday night dread, like, oh crap, I got to go back to that job, and complaining to your spouse or your family. And you hear yourself and you're like, God, that's not me. I have more to give this world, and I got to find a way to do that. Does anybody relate to that? I know I certainly did. Feel free to post your comments and yes, yay, there's somebody, woohoo! Is it Vanelise? Yeah, thank you so much. I know, you're out there. I've been there. And I can tell you that there is a whole nother side if you have the courage to look for those answers, to know who you are, how you are, and take the courage and ownership to get on with life. Because honest to God, the world is waiting for you to figure this out. And as soon as you do, life gets really good, really fast. And that's what I'm all about. I'm about helping women figure it out so that they have a career they love and the life that they deserve. So that is the content that I wanted to share with you today about ownership, the third critical piece that you've got to master to get to a point of career freedom, however you define it. Now, I want to take your guys' questions or suggestions on other future topics for future Periscopes. Or if you have a question about anything I said today, please do not be shy, ladies. Let me know what your questions are, or share your own career frustrations for the rest of the group, and those can become topics for future Periscopes. What do you say? What do you say? If nothing else, please send me the love so I know that you're there, you're listening, and that what I'm saying is of value to you, because that's really my intention here today, is to share some of my own stories, share the stories of my clients, and give you guys inspiration so that you can continue to seek more career freedom and achieve that career and that life that is so available to you. Here's a question. So how do we ask for more money at work? Oh, Lynn, very good question. Do you know, money is one of those big issues that seems to loom over all of us. I know it has been the biggest thing I have had to work through and continue to work through in my own career, feeling that I am worth it, that I am enough, that I am providing enough value, whether I was an employee or as an independent professional, as a coach, knowing what to ask for. As an employee, it's hard to say. Usually that's one of the struggles of being an employee, is that you are in a bit of a box, aren't you? There you have a defined role, a defined contribution, right? You're in this definition. And usually there's these great scales that you are slotted into in terms of, how long you've worked and how much education you have and how well you play with others, that can be really tough for conservative, tradition-minded organizations to break out of. I'm thinking about unions, and you really have to decide, is that the environment that suits you? And for a lot of people, unionized environments are great. Even more traditional, like universities or, in healthcare, where they're very regulated organizations, there's just not that freedom to go beyond the scale that's been assigned. And for some people that value security and stability, that's great. They're happy knowing, how high they can go, and they're happy operating within that. But if money for you has been an issue for quite some time, it might be time to evaluate, am I in an organization that I've outgrown? Are, regardless of how hard I work or beat my head against the wall, will they ever be able to compensate me to the level of value that I'm actually providing? And so it may be a question not so much about how do you ask for more money, but asking yourself, is this the right environment for me? Do I need to work in an environment where I'm capable of making way more money? Hope that helps. Actually, and Lynn, for your specific question, a couple of months ago, I wrote a blog about talking about money. You may want to consult that, and you'll find that on my blog at heatherpetherick.com. There's some specific strategies for people within organizations. Okay, great question. Thank you for asking that. Fantastic. Any other questions or suggestions from you guys that are watching today live? I'll wait for it. I'll wait for it. Anybody? Step up? Anybody? Okay. I see that you're shy today, so I'm going to let you think about it. You can go to my blog, post on any of the videos that are on the blog, post your comments and questions there, and I'm going to be using them as fodder for future Periscope broadcasts. I'm in love with this technology. I'm in love with you guys for giving me so many hearts, for being here this week. Thank you for allowing me to be an inspiration in your career and in your life. I have so enjoyed participating with you guys, and I'm going to keep this up. So share with your Twitter peeps or any other social media platforms that you love, or copy this link and share it with people in your life that may be really frustrated with inadequate levels of career freedom, because I would love to be a huge value. Okay, this has been awesome. Yes, it has, Lynn. Thank you very much. Thanks, Belinda. Thanks, Nafissa. Thanks for all of you ladies that have been joining us. Thanks to Hawaii for joining us. Good job. Thanks, you ladies. And I will, stay tuned. Can't wait. Have a great Friday, and we'll see you soon. Take care.